It's hard to explain what the mind goes through when faced with a moment like this. The first impulse is aggression.
Charlie.
Larry.
I'm so sorry.
Where is he? Where's David?
I tried.
Larry, tell me!
I tried to do what you wanted me to.
The second emotion is desperation, grabbing for anything that might be a lifeline.
Riley.
Aiden, you're never gonna believe this. Larry Callahan's son is Charles Maybon.
And then there's the third sensation. Total cognitive shutdown.
Aiden, are you hearing what I'm saying? Aiden, our informant is Charles Maybon.
Good evening, Mr. Maybon.
I'd like to see Mr. Hughes.
Of course. Please come in. I'll tell him that you're here.
The cold rain snaps me back into place. There are no words to describe what I'm feeling. Just one simple truth repeating in my head over and over. My son is alive.
I know why you're here, Charles. It's because of what I said earlier, isn't it? Miranda? You feeling left out in the cold?
Datacom, I need a mobile number for Charles Maybon, COO, Infinity Corp.
Charles Maybon, Infinity Clothing Corporation, listed cell phone record 555-0173.
Give me a trace on the current location of that device.
Valid authorization required.
Detective James Aiden, authorization request Alpha 595.
Access denied. Code authorized for level 1 security only. Pending review. Dylan Woodruff, Assistant District Attorney.
Damn it!
36 hours, Charles. Then you can take your seat at the big table. Now, what are you going to do? You should probably take that. It might be the office.
I should. Hello?
David? David, it's me, James Aiden. It's your father.
Uh-huh. I see. Well, that is an interesting development.
Can you talk?
Actually, I'm in a very important meeting with Mr. Hughes at the moment. Perhaps you can tell me where the problem occurred, and I can come deal with it when I'm finished here.
Okay. Meet me at the Arlington Memorial, near the fountain.
Okay, I'll meet you there in an hour.
Something wrong?
Cloning Bay 4 is down again. Mendez isn't sure if it'll be up and running by tomorrow. I'd better get over there.
It's good to know my company is in such capable hands.
My apologies for disturbing you at this hour. I know it's very late.
Think nothing of it.
David.
How did you find out?
We uncovered the Elsinore Trust. That led us to your adoptive father, Larry Callahan.
Who else knows?
David,
Who else knows?
No one. Just us.
This whole thing has gotten way out of hand.
David.
I mean, what did you even hope to accomplish?
Look at me, damn it! I'm your father!
You are not my father! I know. I created you. My real father is dead. I know that because I stood by helplessly as he was murdered.
By the time we got to the cabin, it was too late. We found James AIDAN, your original, dead with a gunshot wound to the head. And the clone was gone.
Then we found you. You were unconscious, but alive.
You pulled me to safety. Why? Why go through all this? Why did you create me?
Because Edward Hughes killed my mother. I watched her die. He killed her because my father stumbled onto something big. So big that after 10 years working my way through the corporation, gaining his trust, I still couldn't get access. I began to realize that Hughes was never going to let me into his inner circle. I could feel things slipping away. I was desperate. So we tried something extreme. My father disappeared before he was ever able to follow through on what he discovered. I thought he was dead, and what he knew died with him. But what if he had continued his work? What if he had a second chance to solve the case he began 30 years earlier? The plan would have to be flawless, the details perfect.
That's insane. What if it didn't work?
But it did work! The fifth clone deficiency took over just as we hoped it would, and a carefully tailored incept protocol filled in the gaps. I brought my father back from the dead and reset the clock. Now all he had to do was follow his instincts.
Things didn't turn out as you expected. Something went wrong.
I became obsessed with finding my family.
Something you were never going to find. 2 years went by. We started to lose all hope. Things got bad. We had almost lost all hope. And then something unexpected happened.
What was it?
Well, frankly, you. It felt like the winds were starting to change. Something was stirring in you. If we'd only had more time. But by then, Hughes had learned of your existence, so he formed his own plan.
How does it make you feel? Alone? Like no one's watching my back? Well, I guess that's the difference between us. I don't feel anything at all.
I learned that Hughes tried to have you killed, I knew that I had to intervene if there was any hope of uncovering the truth. I thought I could guide you, push you, to find the answers. But things didn't go as planned.
You didn't know your father was still alive.
Not until the cabin. And by then it was too late. Everything that he knew died with him. Like in 36 hours, Hughes will initiate his plan. And if we don't find out what that is and how to stop it, all of this will have been for nothing.
David, I know to you, I'm just a clone. A carbon copy of your real father. But I have all of his memories. And we can solve this together. And no matter what you think has happened, this has not all been for nothing. For me, I just found out that my son is alive.
Rose by any other name?
I don't know why I draw them. Just something to do, I guess.
The night after Mom was killed, I wasn't sure if Hughes had gotten to my father as well. Callahan felt responsible for what happened. So he took me in as his son, changed my name to protect me. It's what he thought you always would have wanted him to do.
You.
What?
That's the first time you said you instead of my father.
This whole thing is just so weird.
Tell me about it. You know, when you were a baby, I used to rock you to sleep, wondering about what kind of a man you'd grow up to be. And now look at you. COO, some big corporation.
Evil corporation.
Yeah. Well, you know, David, about that night, the night I broke the glass, I never meant the things I said. And I always wanted you to know how sorry I was.
I know. But you did. You told me. That next morning.
I'm sorry, buddy. You know I would never do anything to hurt you and your mother. I love you. I hope you can forgive me.
I don't mean to interrupt whatever the hell this is, but I thought you'd want to know. Your buddy's awake.
Well, well, Mr. Maybon. This is quite a surprise.
I want to know what Hughes is planning right now.
Well, you're about to find out. Real soon. A 10-point lead. Unbelievable. You did it. And when the polls close next Tuesday, you're going to be president.
It's about time.
It's about time this country had a strong hand to lead it out of this cloning wasteland.
It will. Make no mistake.
And what will you do after? You know you can have any position you want in my administration.
I don't know. I think I might try my hand at the private sector.
You'll be wasting your talents.
Edward Hughes doesn't seem to think so. He offered me a job about 6 months ago.
I didn't know that. And what did he say when you turned him down?
Well, that's the thing. I said yes. Of course, he said I'd have to get my hands a little dirtier than usual. But after 20 years in politics, I figure I'm ready for the big leagues.
What's happening?
Well, that's acute respiratory failure, followed by cardiac arrest. You really should have had the veal. Help! Someone over here! Go get a doctor, now!
What?
Because governments rise and fall. But Hughes has offered me something that's lasting. You'll still change the world, Stephen, like you've always wanted. Just won't be in the way that you'd planned.